Another local council manages to clear the way for an Onken yogurt biopot. Sorry, flat dwellers. Well, Onken yogurt biopots are mighty big.
We're supposed to make the lives of travellers easier, but today there's chaos on the privatised rail lines.
I've looked up on the board, there's no information whatsoever. I've been over to information over there, it's shut.
Well, it's actually my birthday and I'm abandoned at the station.
It's on reduced speed. You'll see that when you get on the train, it's all reduced.
Bloody reduced speed, yeah. This is crazy, this is.
I've just spent a month on one of the country's worst performing rail lines. This is a story of Britons on the move, or rather, at a standstill. We've all read the headlines about life on the privatised railways. Delays, cancellations, breakdowns. Tonight we look at the effect on people's lives. We spent a month riding Great Western trains. We didn't ask the company for permission to film. We wanted the experience to be random and authentic. We took along a miniature camera, so apologies for the wobbly pictures and occasionally dodgy sound. By the way, my name's Andrew Jennings.
Has been delayed, now running about 25 minutes late.
Great Western holds the franchise for long-distance services between London, South Wales and the west of England. They start from London's Paddington, and after Reading, they'll take you to Hereford, to Bristol, Cardiff and Swansea. And on the southern route, through Exeter, Plymouth and all the way to Penzance. This was to be my home for the entire month of September. It's the morning after the August bank holiday, and my rush hour train into Paddington arrives 10 minutes late. The station is a construction site. A £60 million facelift won't be completed till the end of next year. The 4:30 to Cardiff is cancelled due to a shortage of trains, and at 7:30 a train failure at Newton Abbot brings more misery. Then the Plymouth train finally limps into the station. 2 hours, 40 minutes late. Weary rail warriors are the victims of all this. Julian Gitcham commutes from Didcot to Paddington, relying on Great Western to get him to work and take him home.
And you got a little one to put to bed? Yes, a little 4.5-month-old daughter, and it's nice to get home to be able to bath her and put her into bed, but it's absolutely wonderful, but it's so disappointing when you get home that 15 minutes late or 20 minutes late, whatever, and she's in bed by then, so sometimes I can go a whole week without seeing her.
I join him on the 6:45 from Paddington.
Oh, move up the sardines.
It's on time, but it's packed.
So often like this.
Oh, this could be a long walk before we find a seat. In fact, we may walk all the way to Didcot. Is it always virtually this full?
Always, yeah, every night. And sometimes, even worse, Friday nights are terribly overcrowded. There are people standing all the way down the aisles. And you still have trains which don't have drivers. You still have trains breaking down. Speedometer broke the other day, and the train had to reverse the power cars, which in the end took over half an hour.
This morning, Great Western promised a 7:45 to Penzance. It was a promise broken. 3/4 of an hour after it was due to leave, it was still stuck there. Passengers had to change trains. This group from BT are due at a meeting way down the line in Taunton. What's your problem today, then?
Well, I started off at 6 o'clock this morning expecting a leisurely trip down to Taunton with a breakfast from Paddington. Got halfway through my cereal and was tripped off the train. Start again.
You started eating your breakfast on the first train?
I did, yeah. Started eating my breakfast, got as far as my porridge, and we had to get up because the speedometer wasn't working at the front of the train.
So how do these delays affect you today?
For me now, the problem is not only has this disrupted my work, because I've got a 9-month-old daughter who has to go to bed at 7 o'clock. I'm going to get back and miss her bedtime tonight, and I'm not pleased about that. And I'm going to be more than an hour late coming back, which means, you know, I have to wait until tomorrow to kiss my daughter goodnight.
They eventually get in 49 minutes late. I go with them to see what happens when they get to their meeting.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not going to be in your shoes when you get to work. We will put a word in for you with the bosses. You know, we'll say things like they didn't want to get off them.
There are more than 800 million rail journeys in Britain every year. If only a tiny percentage are late, business is hit. BT is sure that this delay has cost them money.
I want to say good morning, but it's good afternoon. Good afternoon.
What problems is it causing you today?
This has been scheduled for a couple of weeks, this meeting. We're obviously now going to be severely disjointed, and we're going to lose a lot of business.
So you're going to lose business for the company?
Internal business.
Yeah.
Projects will slow.
Yeah.
Programs will not happen quite as quickly, and will those sort of things have impact on the customer at the end of the day?
Andrew Cooper has been brought in to sort out Great Western's troubles. He says he's doing it. So why are so many of his trains still late?
There have been a number of reasons. There have been problems with track and infrastructure. I meet Railtrack regularly. I understand that they realise what's gone wrong and they're taking action to deal with it. But a third of the delays are to do with trains and the operation of Great Western trains. I am tackling that. We've had some difficulties. We've owned up to that. We've made no secret about that. And I'm very sorry for what's happened.
When Great Western took over, they introduced travellers to the delights of new exterior branding, fresh interior decor, a greater selection of sandwiches on the trolley, and more space for bicycles. Commuters like Fiona Dobson, who travel between Wiltshire and Paddington every day, aren't impressed.
People don't mind what colour the trains are, they don't mind anything like that, regardless of new uniforms. People aren't interested in that. They want a reliable, punctual, good value for money service. The fares have gone up increasingly, although having said that, they are trying to give us rebates now, but that doesn't help the issue. We're still all late for work. We're still unable to make appointments. I'm still letting colleagues down. So it is not value for money.
That evening, I meet Fiona at Paddington.
Fiona.
Hello.
You going to get home tonight?
Good question.
She's due on the 6:15 to Chippenham.
Well, I know it normally goes from platform 5, so let's give it a go.
Okay.
So it's not up on board yet, we should be lucky. We did have an excuse the other day, which was quite funny, which was that the train following us was running slowly.
The train behind you was running slowly.
Which was delaying our journey.
Did it have big magnets pulling you back?
More than 6,000 Great Western trains were late between March 97 and March 98. That doesn't include delays of less than 10 minutes or delays on Sundays or bank holidays. Fiona's become an expert on the excuses.
Tell me the 3 most likely explanations.
Rolling stock unavailable.
Yeah.
Why, we're not sure, but rolling stock unavailable. Late coming into the platform from its outward journey, or late coming in from the depot.
So far, so good. The train is ready on time.
You're not sort of cycling in at all?
My experience is that 70 to 80% of those trains are not on time. They're late.
Do you think these conductors and announcers do special courses in how to say sorry?
I'm sure they do. Our latest gimmick that we had actually offered to us on the train was...
You're the troublemakers, aren't you?
Help the ease and strain. We were offered a massage service.
God, no. Well, you can get that on a crowded train, just standing there over between the carriages.
I don't think it ever materialised, I've got to say, but it was high. But it was very, very funny.
Fellow combatants.
Oh, absolutely.
Paddington Station, September the 4th.
Today, the trains seem to be running on time. But are they? 3 days on, could the clock repairman be on a delayed train somewhere? Six days on, they've given up.
50 miles west of Paddington, Melanie Moore has a more serious problem. She can wheel herself onto Didcot's platform 1, but her train to Reading leaves from platform 2, and the lift's out of action.
Hello. I would like to go to Reading, and it seems that I can't go to Reading.
Because the lifts are they're converting the lifts so they'll be able to, you can use them like optional Reading just for public use rather than relying on porters. They're out of action for about another 2 months.
But I need to go to Reading today, not 2 months.
Yeah, I know. The only way to, I know it's going to sound ludicrous this, but using the train from here, the only way to get to Reading is up on the platform 1, go to Swindon and change there.
Right, and how much is that going to cost? Are you going to pay the difference?
Well, it's the same fare.
It's the same, right. And how much longer is that going to take?
Melanie needs to go 20 miles east, but what the ticket man is suggesting is that she goes 40 miles in the opposite direction. Then she can turn around at Swindon and go all the way back, past Didcot, to Reading.
Well, the next train from platform 1 going westwards is 1:53.
Right.
So that will get you into Swindon about 2:15.
Right.
Then coming back from Swindon.
The timetable shows that the journey will take over an hour. It should take just 15 minutes. She's in a wheelchair, she's got the added hassle of a change at Swindon, and she's got another worry.
Where are the toilets? Where are the toilets?
The toilets are on platform... There are some toilets. Hang on. There's some lavatories on platform 1. Toilets on platform 2. They're on platform 2.
On platform 2, so I can't have a wee either.
I never thought. We did have some temporary ones on platform 1 when they were doing all the building work.
Oh, right. So I can't get where I want to go, so I've got to hold on to my bladder. Nice day then. Thank you very much.